timeline accurate here. So you guys finished your rehab together. Scott went back. You exchanged phone numbers. Obviously, you're in communication. Scott, did you initially plan to move back to Los Angeles, or was it something that you guys created?
What happened was I went back with the intention of really staying sober, and I relapsed within like a couple of days, and it was devastating.
You went back to Utah and you relapsed. Okay, got it.
Immediately, and I started calling her, and
I see.
I was like, dude, I don't know how to do this.
Wow.
You know, I had literally left this huge mess and gone away for 30 days and came back, and that huge mess was still sitting right
Sure.
there. My trash cans were overflowing. Yeah, people hated me. Nah, I don't know that people hated me. I think people had given up on me. And
So you went back to the same structure.
yeah, and so, you know, at some point I think Laura said, why don't you come to LA and try getting sober here? And I was like, that sounds like an oxymoron. Like I'm going to go to LA and get sober, right? And at some point I didn't have any other options, so I decided to take her up on it, and I came here. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so then back to the moment that you realized he was the one for you.
Yeah, so he moved here. You know, he didn't move in with me because my home situation. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He didn't move in with me. He moved to Los Angeles, and I had been going to 12-step meetings here, and had maintained my sobriety, and I was close to getting divorced. He kind of, you know, kept doing what he was doing. He kind of kept drinking when he got here for a while. And he ended up going on what we call in program a run, where he drank bottle to bottle for a number of days in a row. And he was away. He was in Hawaii. He had gone to Hawaii to be with his kids at this point. He had left Los Angeles and gone there. When he returned from that, which I didn't think he was going to, and I was talking to him the whole time, he showed up at my door. I'm going to cry just thinking about it. He showed up at my door at 5 a.m. He had gotten on a plane, and, you know, I kind of had to just love him from afar, but leave the idea that he was going to get well. And he showed up at my door, and it was just like everything else in the world fell away at that moment. And I just grabbed him, and we hugged for the longest time. And it was on. Like this was my man. And if he could stay sober, we were going to be together.
That was your moment.
That was my moment.
Woo, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was really powerful.
It's a remarkable story. The precursor to me getting to the door was I had just spent 10 days on a run. I showed up at LAX airport at 5 a.m. in the morning. I don't have a ride. I've been arrested while I got arrested again in Kauai. I'm like looking at, you know, probation from Utah. They find out what's happening. I'm going to jail. I'm literally like, what am I going to do? So I walk out of baggage, and this guy in this limo is fending off two people, and he turns around to me and he goes, "You look like you need a ride."
Wow.
And I go, okay. So I get in his car, and I'm driving up. I'm sitting around going, what am I going to do? I'm looking at losing my kids, losing my house, going to probably prison for a little while. And this guy's in the driving, and he looks in the rearview mirror, and he goes, you know, you don't have to live like this anymore. Mm-hmm. And the guy was 19 years sober. He had just randomly picked me up at baggage and took me to her door. Mm-hmm. And I got a message from the universe at that moment where I was like, okay, bro.
Right, I was going to say,
you got to get this now, or you're never going to get it. So then when she opened the door, and I had made such a travesty of this opportunity to go see my kids, and I was loved anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not going to happen again.
Right.